Ever wonder why we think, feel, and behave the way we do? This question led to the birth of a fascinating field of study: psychology. Now let's turn the clock back, way back, to the times of ancient Greece, where psychology's roots are firmly planted. Picture this: philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, questioning the nature of the human mind, probing into the mysteries of consciousness, and laying the groundwork for what would later become psychology. Socrates with his introspective method of questioning, Plato who believed our minds were the key to understanding the universe, and Aristotle whose exhaustive treatise on the soul sought to understand the very essence of human nature. These great thinkers set the stage for the dawn of psychology. Fast forward to the late 19th century, where the narrative takes a distinct turn. Enter Wilhelm Wundt, a German scientist, who in 1879 established the first psychology laboratory in the world. Wundt's lab was not just a room with a desk and a chair, but a space where experimental procedures were used to study the human mind. He shifted the focus from philosophical speculation to scientific investigation, marking a significant turning point in the field. Wundt, often known as the father of experimental psychology, believed that the mind could be measured and studied scientifically, just like any other natural phenomenon. His revolutionary approach paved the way for future psychologists and set the stage for psychology as we know it today. So, from the ancient Greek philosophers, probing into the mysteries of the mind, to Wilhelm Wundt, establishing the first experimental lab, the quest to understand the human mind has been a fascinating journey. It's a journey that has taken us from the realm of philosophy to the realm of science. Thus began the journey of psychology, from a philosophical question to a scientific study of the mind. When we talk about psychology, one name often stands out: Sigmund Freud. Speaking of pioneers, Sigmund Freud, an Austrian neurologist, is remembered as the father of psychoanalysis. Born in the mid-19th century, Freud's life was as complex and intriguing as his theories. He spent most of his life in Vienna, where he developed and refined his groundbreaking ideas. Freud's work revolved around the unconscious mind. He proposed that our conscious reality is just the tip of an iceberg, with a vast unseen world of dreams, memories, and desires lurking beneath the surface. He believed that the key to understanding an individual's behavior and mental processes lay in unlocking this hidden realm. One of Freud's most recognized contributions is his theory of dream interpretation. He saw dreams as the royal road to the unconscious, a window to our deepest desires and fears. Freud suggested that by analyzing our dreams we could uncover hidden truths about ourselves. Now let's delve into one of the most controversial aspects of Freud's work: his theories on human sexuality. Freud proposed that sexual drive is one of the primary sources of human motivation, a notion that was quite scandalous in his time. He suggested that our early childhood experiences, particularly those of a sexual nature, play a significant role in shaping our adult personality and behavior. As you can imagine, these theories sparked a fair share of controversy. Despite the controversies, Freud's impact on psychology and our understanding of the human mind is profound. His work laid the groundwork for many modern psychological theories and therapies. He opened up a new way of thinking about the mind, one that emphasized the role of the unconscious and the importance of early experiences. However, Freud's theories were not without their critics. Many contemporaries and subsequent psychologists have challenged his methods and conclusions, arguing that his theories are untestable, subjective, and overly focused on sexuality. Freud's theories sparked heated debates, but his impact on psychology is undeniable. The footprint Freud left on the field continues to be seen today, in both its strengths and its controversies. From the subconscious mind, we move to observable behavior with B.F. Skinner. Born in rural Pennsylvania to a lawyer father and a creative, intelligent mother, Burris Frederick Skinner, or B.F. Skinner as he is commonly known, would grow up to be a pioneering figure in the field of psychology. His upbringing, marked by a love for invention and discovery, led him to develop the concept of operant conditioning, a method of learning that occurs through rewards and punishments for behavior. Skinner's work was revolutionary. He believed not in the hidden recesses of the unconscious mind, but in the observable, tangible behavior of individuals. He was convinced that our actions were shaped not by inner desires or past experiences, but by our environment. To Skinner, humans were like the rats and pigeons he used in his experiments. We learn to behave in certain ways due to the consequences of our actions. His operant conditioning chamber, commonly known as the Skinner box, was a testament to this belief. Here, animals were rewarded or punished depending on their behavior, demonstrating how environment could shape actions. This theory had profound implications, challenging the traditional notions of free will and suggesting that behavior could be controlled and even predicted. But Skinner didn't just theorize. He saw practical applications for operant conditioning in various fields. In education, he proposed learning through reinforcement, where students are rewarded for correct answers, thereby increasing the likelihood of similar responses in the future. This concept is widely used today in classrooms worldwide. In therapy, Skinner's ideas led to the development of behavior modification techniques, helping individuals replace unhealthy behaviors with beneficial ones. His work has had a lasting impact on fields as diverse as animal training and public policy, demonstrating the power of environment in shaping behavior. But Skinner's theories were not without controversy. Critics argue that his approach oversimplifies human behavior, reducing us to mere products of our environment. Yet, there's no denying the influence of his work. Skinner showed us that our environment influences our behavior, making us rethink notions of free will. Skinner's legacy remains, reminding us of the power our surroundings hold in shaping who we are and how we act. Humanism, a perspective that emphasizes the individual's potential, brought forth Carl Rogers. This trailblazer of psychology was born in the early 20th century, in a time when behaviorism and psychoanalysis reigned supreme. Rogers, however, had a different perspective. His focus was on the person, the individual, the self. Carl Rogers pioneered a fresh path in psychology with his client-centered therapy, a radical departure from the traditional therapist-guided approaches of the time. Instead of the therapist taking the lead, Rogers believed the client should be the director of their own therapy. He saw therapy as a journey of self-discovery, led by the client and facilitated by the therapist. The therapist's role, he suggested, was not to interpret or diagnose, but to offer empathy, unconditional positive regard, and congruence, a genuine, authentic presence. Rogers' belief in the inherent goodness and self-actualizing tendencies of humans was a cornerstone of his approach. He held that every person has an innate capacity for growth and self-improvement. He posited that, given the right conditions, individuals will naturally gravitate towards becoming the best version of themselves. This was a stark contrast to the prevailing views of his time, which often painted human nature in a less positive light. Rogers' impact on counseling and psychotherapy is profound and lasting. His client-centered approach revolutionized the therapist-client relationship, shifting it from an expert-patient dynamic to one of partnership and collaboration. Today, elements of his approach are seen in many therapeutic models, and his emphasis on empathy and unconditional positive regard has become a gold standard in therapy. Rogers' influence extends beyond therapy too. His ideas about self-actualization and the inherent worth of individuals have shaped how we view personal development, education, and even leadership. His theories continue to inspire psychologists and non-psychologists alike, reminding us of the immense potential within each of us. Rogers reminded us of our capacity for growth, healing, and self-improvement. His legacy lives on, encouraging us to strive towards becoming our most authentic selves, and to view others with empathy, understanding, and unconditional positive regard. The cognitive revolution in the mid-20th century brought us Jean Piaget, a pioneer of cognitive development. This Swiss psychologist brought a fresh perspective to how we perceive the mental growth of children. Born in the late 19th century, Piaget had a fascination with nature and biology from a young age, setting the stage for his later work in psychology. Piaget's career was a journey into the minds of children. He observed his own children, noting their responses and reactions to the world around them. It was through these observations that he began formulating his theories on cognitive development. He proposed that children think differently than adults, and their understanding of the world evolves through distinct stages as they grow. This led to his theory of cognitive stages, a four-step model that maps out a child's mental development. The first stage, the sensoromotor stage, covers the first 2 years of life, where infants interact with the world through their senses and motor skills. Then comes the pre-operational stage, from 2 to 7 years, where children begin to use language and symbols, but struggle with logical reasoning. The concrete operational stage from 7 to 11 years is when children start to think logically about concrete events. The final stage, the formal operational stage, begins at around 12 years of age and extends into adulthood. Here, individuals begin to think abstractly and reason hypothetically. Piaget's theories have had a profound influence on education and child psychology. His work emphasized that children are not merely less competent thinkers than adults, but they think differently, requiring different teaching strategies. This recognition has led to more active, hands-on learning approaches in schools, focusing on the child's perspective and their process of understanding. Piaget's work reshaped our understanding of the developing mind. His theories continue to guide educators and psychologists today, offering a lens to view and understand the fascinating process of cognitive development in children. From its roots in ancient philosophy to the diverse field it is today, psychology has come a long way. The richness and relevance of this discipline can be seen in the variety of its current trends. Let's delve into some of these to understand how they shape our understanding of the human mind and behavior. Firstly, there's positive psychology. This branch focuses on the brighter side of the human psyche, happiness, well-being, and personal growth. It's a powerful reminder that psychology isn't just about fixing what's wrong, but also about nurturing what's right. Then we have cultural psychology, which asserts that our minds are products of our cultural context. It challenges the notion of a universal human psyche, instead suggesting that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are shaped by the cultures we inhabit. Neuropsychology, on the other hand, explores the intricate relationship between our brains and our behaviors. By studying brain injuries and neurological disorders, neuropsychologists seek to unravel the mysteries of the brain, offering insights into everything from memory and attention to emotion and decision-making. It's worth noting that today's psychology isn't confined to academia. It's a living, breathing discipline that impacts our everyday lives. Psychological research informs everything from marketing campaigns and workplace policies to educational practices and mental health interventions. It helps us understand why we do what we do, how we can change unhealthy behaviors, and how we can harness the power of the mind to lead happier, healthier lives. As we peer into the future, one thing is clear: psychology's journey is far from over. New theories will emerge, old ones will be refined, and our understanding of the human psyche will continue to evolve. As it does, it will keep shedding light on the complexities of the human condition, helping us navigate the challenges of life with greater wisdom and resilience. Psychology continues to evolve, offering fresh insights into the human mind and behavior. Psychology isn't just a subject for academics, it's a tool for everyday life. But how, you might ask? Well, let's delve into that right now. Imagine you're studying for an exam or trying to remember a grocery list. How can psychology help? Enter the world of cognitive psychology, which has given us techniques to enhance our memory. The method of loci, for example, involves associating items you want to remember with specific locations in a familiar place. It's like walking through your house and seeing those grocery items in each room. Suddenly, remembering that list becomes a piece of cake. Stress, it's something we all grapple with. But did you know that psychology offers techniques to manage it? Biofeedback, a technique from health psychology, enables individuals to control bodily processes that are typically involuntary, like heart rate or blood pressure. By learning to relax specific muscles or slow our breathing, we can manage our stress levels more effectively. Now let's talk about relationships. We all have them and we all know they can be challenging. Social psychology provides insights into how we interact and communicate. It helps us understand why conflicts arise and how they can be resolved. For example, understanding the concept of fundamental attribution error can help us realize that we often blame people's personalities for their actions, while ignoring situational factors. This insight can lead to more empathy and less conflict in our relationships. So, as you can see, psychology isn't just for the textbooks, it's a practical tool that can help us navigate our daily lives with more ease and understanding. It's about improving memory, managing stress, enhancing relationships, and so much more. It's about understanding the human mind and behavior, and applying that knowledge in our everyday lives. So, why not delve a little deeper? Why not learn more about psychology? It's a fascinating field that has the power to transform your life in ways you might not even imagine. Understanding psychology can help you understand yourself and others better, making life a little less puzzling.